When we think about a highly intelligent and sophisticated woman, it's essential to see her as more than just an image. She's an active, influential presence, blending sharp intellect, deep emotions, and a clear understanding of her surroundings. Intelligence here goes beyond school smarts. It's about being able to handle and excel amidst the complexities of today's world. Let's look at 6 key traits of such a woman. These traits are deep and meaningful, showing a well-rounded way of living, thinking, and relating to others. A highly intelligent, sophisticated woman knows herself very well. She is aware of her strengths, weaknesses, and sensitive areas. This self-knowledge isn't self-centered. It's crucial for her personal development. It gives her a solid sense of confidence, keeping her steady amid life's chaos. She's aware of her abilities and areas where she needs to improve. Her ongoing efforts to better herself make her stand out from those who just have a lot of information. Critical thinking is a signature trait of a sophisticated mind. A highly intelligent woman doesn't just take information as it is. She scrutinizes it, challenges its basis, and spots details that others overlook. Her thinking isn't swayed by what's popular or by what others think. It's driven by a quest for truth and logic. She embraces complex issues because she knows that dealing with them often leads to valuable insights. But intelligence isn't just about mental skills. A truly sophisticated woman is also emotionally wise. She understands her emotions and those of people around her. Her emotional intelligence lets her connect deeply in both personal and professional relationships. She doesn't act on impulse. Instead, she thinks carefully about how her feelings influence her actions and relationships. This emotional depth helps her handle stress, conflict, and challenges more evenly than others. A highly intelligent woman is also great at communicating. She talks clearly and purposefully, making sure she's understood. But she's also a great listener. By listening well and absorbing what others say, she builds mutual respect and understanding. She knows that communication isn't just about speaking her mind, but also about learning from others. A truly sophisticated woman never stops growing. She continuously seeks to learn more, improve her skills, and gain new experiences. She doesn't settle for being average, whether it's through schooling, self-reflection, travel, or new social and professional opportunities. She constantly pushes her own limits. This drive for growth comes from within, not from a need for others' approval. A highly intelligent and sophisticated woman has a strong moral backbone. She values honesty, responsibility, and living true to her principles. She isn't easily influenced by outside pressures or fleeting desires. Her actions reflect her deep convictions, and she stands firmly by her beliefs, even when challenged. This integrity is a strong sign of her intelligence and her dedication to a genuine, purposeful life. When we talk about a highly intelligent and sophisticated woman, a key trait is her thorough self-awareness. It's not just about knowing what she likes or how she feels at the moment. It's a deep, continuous exploration of her inner self. She understands herself deeply, having reflected on her past choices and the outcomes of her actions. This self-awareness isn't static. It's a dynamic, ongoing process that enriches her life continuously. In a busy world filled with distractions, a woman who really knows herself has a unique skill to stop and think deeply about her actions and thoughts. She can, in a way, step outside herself and look at her own thoughts and behaviors as if she was someone else. This clear perspective helps her understand not just what she does, but why she does it. She can identify what influences her choices, whether it's societal pressures, personal desires, or past hurts. This depth of understanding helps her avoid reacting impulsively like many do, allowing her to handle situations with more thought and control. Self-awareness isn't just about knowing what drives you or your flaws. It's also about recognizing your limits. It involves the bravery to face uncomfortable truths about yourself, even those you might prefer to ignore. A deeply self-aware woman isn't scared to face her reflection, even if it shows parts of herself she might not like. She sees her flaws, weaknesses, and limits, and confronts them directly, knowing that these are not embarrassments, but opportunities for improvement. This awareness keeps her from fooling herself or becoming too proud. She knows she's not defined by her flaws, but by her ability to overcome them. She also understands her strengths very well. She neither exaggerates nor underestimates them. Her confidence comes from a truthful and solid understanding of what she can do without being boastful. Knowing her strengths allows her to use them not to overpower others or boost her ego, but to positively impact the world. She has a clear purpose because she knows what she is capable of. This awareness also covers her emotional world. She understands the complex patterns of her feelings, how certain situations can trigger specific emotions, or how certain people might affect her mood. She can tell the difference between quick emotional reactions and deep emotional truths, allowing her to manage her feelings and actions better. She can recognize her emotions without letting them control her, knowing that feelings are part of being human, but not the only thing guiding her choices. This advanced self-awareness also fuels her growth and development. She knows she is always evolving, not static. She doesn't resist change. She knows it's a natural part of life and embraces it, growing into a more complete version of herself. At its core, self-awareness is the basis for everything else in her life. It shapes her choices, relationships, career, and happiness. It equips her with the knowledge to make decisions that reflect her values and the understanding to know when it's time to change paths. It's an active skill that demands continuous effort and the bravery to face harsh truths. This defines a truly sophisticated woman. She has a strong connection with her inner self, and this deep, clear understanding shapes everything she does in her life. In a world that often values surface-level qualities, she stands out as a powerful example of the strength found in self-recognition and the complexity of navigating life. A truly wise and sophisticated woman is one who thinks deeply and on her own. Critical thinking means looking at information closely, asking thoughtful questions about things that may seem clear, and truly thinking deeply about different ideas. It goes beyond just absorbing information. It involves questioning it, understanding where it comes from, its impacts, and whether it's true. She doesn't just accept things as they are given to her. She digs into them, picks them apart, and makes her own judgments. This begins with the readiness to tackle complexity. The world isn't just black and white, and she knows that answers to big questions are often not straightforward. She avoids simplistic thinking, which often depends on quick fixes or easy answers. Instead, she welcomes the complex, the contradictory, knowing that real understanding often comes from considering different, sometimes opposing ideas. This takes not only intellectual strength, but also emotional toughness to deal with uncertainty and conflicting thoughts. She isn't scared to feel uncomfortable when she's thinking hard about things, because this unease usually leads to important discoveries. This woman doesn't just take in ideas from others without questioning them. She really digs into them. She doesn't just accept what people in positions of power, whether in academia, culture, or society, say is right. Instead, She compares new ideas with what she's seen and known herself, and she thinks them through thoroughly. She checks if the arguments make sense, looks at the proof, and sees if they hold up under close inspection. She's not okay with just believing something because someone says she should. She wants to understand why it's true before she agrees with it. Her way of thinking for herself isn't just something she does in theory or during intellectual exercises. It's a big part of her everyday life. It helps her make decisions about her relationships, her career, and how she interacts with others. She practices the same thorough thinking there too. She doesn't just do what everyone else does, but thinks about why people do things and what the effects might be. She knows how her choices affect not only herself, but others too, and she takes that responsibility seriously. If you are still watching, comment "highly intelligent" down below so I know you've made it this far. Now let's get back into the video. Thinking critically also means she questions her own beliefs and prejudices. A woman who thinks deeply knows she can make mistakes and has the same biases any human has. She's always ready to examine her own views, to change them if new facts come along. This requires courage because it means admitting she might not know everything. Yet, being open to change when new evidence appears is what really shows intelligence, not just sticking stubbornly to old ideas. She enjoys a sort of mental freedom from this style of critical thinking. She doesn't accept ideas just because they are trendy, match her wishes, or are convenient. Her choices are based on a sincere commitment to truth, understanding, and being intellectually honest. She learns from various sources but isn't easily swayed by the latest popular thoughts or fads. Her independent thinking helps her sift through what's not important, find what matters, and keep her focus on the essentials. This skill, to think both critically and on her own, also helps her solve problems. Life is full of complex challenges that often need creative solutions. The very smart woman doesn't just react quickly to problems, but thinks them through calmly and systematically. She looks at different viewpoints, gathers facts, and thoughtfully considers what could happen with different choices. This way, she isn't controlled by immediate emotions or pressures. She can think clearly, even under stress, see the larger picture, and act with intention and thought. Her independent way of thinking sometimes makes her feel separate from popular opinions. She might find herself disagreeing with the majority, not because she likes to argue, but because she bases her thoughts on principles and logical reasoning, not just on a wish to fit in. This independence isn't about being arrogant. It comes from a deep respect for the world's complexity and knowing that truth can be tough or uncomfortable. She's ready to stand alone if needed, because she knows that seeking truth and understanding demands bravery and a readiness to challenge what's generally accepted. In the end, the woman who thinks critically and independently does so not to rebel or defy, but from a desire to grow and gain wisdom. She realizes that real progress isn't about accepting the world as it is, but about questioning it, exploring it, and trying to better understand it and her place in it. This mindset makes her not just someone who receives information, but someone who actively helps shape the world. By thinking critically and independently, she connects with the world more deeply, adding to her own growth and to society at large. A truly wise and sophisticated woman shows emotional maturity, which is one of her standout traits. Emotional maturity is more than just showing feelings. It's about deeply understanding one's emotions and handling them well in life's situations. It's the ability to face life's ups and downs, not hastily or reactively, but thoughtfully and deliberately. This doesn't mean she holds back her emotions or is disconnected from the wide range of human feelings. Instead, Emotional maturity allows her to deal with her emotions in a way that's helpful, sensible, and in line with her broader goals. A woman with emotional maturity understands that feelings are a natural part of being human. They aren't something to be afraid of or to avoid. Emotions like anger, sadness, happiness, and fear are important signals. They give us useful clues about what's going on inside us and can be powerful sources of strength. The key to being emotionally mature is for a woman to recognize these signals and to understand them in a way that helps guide her decisions, not dominate them. She doesn't let her emotions control her actions. Instead, she acknowledges them, thinks them over, and decides how to act in a way that matches her principles and long-term goals. This doesn't mean she has no emotions or is extremely unemotional. Instead, it means she doesn't let herself be overwhelmed by her feelings. In times of strong emotion, she has the awareness and discipline to pause, breathe, and view the situation clearly. This ability to stop and think before reacting is a major sign of emotional maturity. She doesn't act out of anger, fear, or annoyance. She responds with careful thought. This kind of self-control helps her handle even the toughest situations calmly. Moreover, being emotionally mature means understanding other people's emotions well. It involves knowing that everyone around her, whether friends, family, co-workers, or strangers, is also influenced by their emotions in ways that might not be clear at first. She can empathize with others, putting herself in their place and understanding their feelings and viewpoints. This empathy lets her interact with people in a way that is both caring and sensible. She doesn't rush to judge or blame, but tries to understand the emotional reasons behind people's actions and choices. This leads to stronger, more meaningful relationships built on trust and mutual respect. But empathy doesn't mean she neglects her own emotional boundaries. Emotional maturity also means being able to stand up for herself when needed. She knows it's important to protect her emotional health, even if it means setting limits or saying no in tough situations. She isn't influenced by guilt, manipulation, or the urge to please everyone at the cost of her own needs. Instead, she makes choices that respect her own emotional well-being, knowing that this makes her a better friend, partner, and contributor to society. A significant part of emotional maturity is managing stress and conflict gracefully. Life naturally brings challenges, such as personal loss, disappointments, or disagreements. For an emotionally mature woman, these challenges don't lead to ongoing distress or reactive explosions. She deals with them with resilience and flexibility. She understands that setbacks are part of life and not the end of the world. When faced with difficulties, she evaluates the situation, processes her emotions, and moves forward with purpose and direction. Her emotional maturity also helps her find solutions instead of getting stuck in negativity or self-pity. This maturity extends to how she handles success. While it might seem simpler to stay emotionally steady in hard times, it's equally crucial during good times. She doesn't become conceited or boastful when she succeeds. She appreciates her achievements quietly and doesn't let them skew her self-perception. She knows her value isn't based on outside approval or awards. She stays down to earth, appreciative of the effort it took to reach her goals, and always ready for the next challenge or chance to grow. Emotional maturity also brings a certain wisdom, the ability to forgive. It allows a woman to see that holding on to grudges, bitterness, or anger only hurts herself. She understands the heavy toll that holding on to these feelings can have on her emotions and chooses to let them go. This doesn't mean she tolerates wrongs or lets others mistreat her, but she realizes that forgiving is about freeing herself from the emotional ties to past hurts. She isn't defined by others' wrongs against her, but by her capacity to move on, heal, and live in the present. Emotional maturity offers a sense of inner calm and balance. It helps a wise woman stay steady and dependable, even when life gets choppy. She isn't controlled by fleeting feelings. Instead, she has learned to manage her emotions well, helping her succeed in both ups and downs. Her emotions become her strength, not a weakness, a reliable support that helps her navigate through life's inevitable challenges. This inner strength is what helps her not just get by, but truly thrive, actively participating in the world and making valuable contributions to her community and beyond. A truly wise and cultured woman is also an outstanding communicator, a trait that significantly distinguishes her. Communication is how we convey our thoughts, share feelings, and connect with others, but its importance and complexity are often overlooked. Good communication involves more than just talking clearly or writing well. It includes careful listening, understanding others' feelings, and knowing how words influence our surroundings. A woman with great communication skills doesn't just speak to be heard, but aims to be understood. She can share her thoughts clearly and succinctly. This requires both intellectual and emotional smarts. She selects her words thoughtfully, aware of their significance and their effects. Her way of speaking is not just for showing off, but for sharing her ideas effectively and honestly. She realizes that words are more than just sounds. They build connections between her inner self and the world, between her and others, and thus she respects and handles language with care. If you are still here, write "highly sophisticated" in the comments down below, so I know you've made it this far. Now let's get back into the video. But communicating well isn't only about speaking, it's equally about listening well. An excellent communicator doesn't just talk effectively, but listens actively and sincerely. She listens to the whole message, including the emotions and motives that might not be immediately clear. This kind of listening takes patience and an open mind, letting the other person speak without interruption or quick judgments. By doing so, she lets others express themselves freely, which leads to deeper relationships and more impactful discussions. Listening this way also means she understands the deeper reasons behind what people say. She is keenly aware of the emotions and experiences that influence their words and takes the time to connect with these deeper meanings. This skill helps her respond thoughtfully instead of reacting quickly. When she speaks, her words reflect a deep understanding, shaped by the whole context of the conversation. Additionally, she understands that communication goes beyond words. The way someone moves, speaks, and shows emotion on their face greatly influences how others receive and understand their message. A woman skilled in communication knows this and uses non-verbal signals to support and enhance her verbal communication. She is conscious of how her body movements, facial expressions, and even her tone can affect the atmosphere of a conversation. She also notices how others' body language affects the discussion and adapts her communication style accordingly. She can sense when someone is uneasy, defensive, or hesitant, and changes her approach to suit the situation. She's adept at reading the atmosphere and adjusting her communication style to match the context. She excels in making complicated ideas easy to understand. Instead of hiding behind difficult words or jargon, she aims to present her ideas clearly and in ways that connect with the people she's talking to. This skill goes beyond just being smart. It involves a deep understanding of what drives people, what worries them, and how they see the world. She knows that the most impactful ideas aren't necessarily the most complex ones, but rather those that are clear and useful to others. Simplifying complex concepts doesn't mean watering them down. It means making them clear in a world that's often confusing. Her way of communicating also shows empathy and respect for others. She doesn't talk just to win an argument, but to understand and share ideas, making her an effective negotiator and problem solver. She sees communication as a two-way street, valuing both listening and sharing. Her humble nature allows her to appreciate others' input and engage in collaborative, not confrontational discussions. This approach encourages cooperation and respect, even when opinions differ. She's also very adept at choosing the right time and place for her communications. She understands that timing and context are crucial, knowing when to speak up and when to stay quiet. She realizes that the most significant conversations often happen at the right time, not necessarily right away. Her ability to judge when to act and when to hold back is a rare skill that adds depth to her words, ensuring they are powerful when needed and not diluted by overuse. Furthermore, her exceptional communication skills go beyond just exchanging information. They're about building relationships. For her, communication is the cornerstone of human connections, and the quality of her interactions directly affects her relationships, whether with friends, family, colleagues, or strangers. She uses her words to build trust, foster understanding, and bring people together. Her focus isn't just on being heard, but on truly understanding and being understood by others. In essence, she uses communication not just to express, but to connect, comprehend, and construct a more meaningful reality for herself and those around her. This ability, often underestimated in today's fast-paced society, is key to forming deeper, more meaningful relationships and contributing positively to the community. She doesn't just talk, she communicates with purpose, clarity, and intention. A woman of true intelligence and sophistication actively pursues both intellectual and personal growth. This growth isn't passive or accidental. It's a conscious, continual effort to improve oneself. It involves being open to learning, ready to question one's beliefs, and resilient enough to face uncomfortable truths. Growth is neither straightforward nor easy. It's a complex, sometimes chaotic journey with challenges and setbacks. However, it's this willingness to embrace the uncomfortable aspects of growth that distinguishes truly evolving individuals from those who remain static. At the core of this commitment to growth is a deep belief that one is never completely finished learning. She recognizes that learning is a lifelong process, not ending with formal education or career achievements, but continuing through a constant pursuit of knowledge, discovery, and personal development. This mindset stems not from insecurity, but from a confident belief that continuous growth is crucial because it reflects a commitment to something bigger than oneself, the pursuit of wisdom, truth, and a deeper engagement with the world. A wise and thoughtful woman isn't content with just scratching the surface of knowledge. She's compelled to dig deeper, to grasp the fundamental rules and frameworks that shape the world. She reads widely, listens to different points of view, and embraces new experiences that expand her mind. She understands that growing intellectually is deeply linked to personal development. As she broadens her understanding, she discovers more about herself, others, and the environment around her. However, intellectual growth alone isn't sufficient. A woman dedicated to personal growth must be ready to transform herself. This means questioning her own thoughts, habits, emotions, and interactions with others. Personal development often requires facing hard truths about oneself, the habits that define us, the fears that limit us, and the unresolved issues we carry. It involves acknowledging how these internal factors shape our actions and taking responsibility for them. A woman committed to this path is ready to tackle these challenges, knowing that true personal growth demands effort, discomfort, and sometimes major sacrifices. This dedication to personal growth also involves taking charge of one's life. It means understanding that while external situations influence us, we have the ultimate control to shape our lives. She doesn't just wait for opportunities to come her way, she actively seeks them. She realizes that growth is closely linked to action, venturing into new, sometimes uncomfortable situations and making choices that reflect the person she aspires to be, not just who she was. This involves taking risks, stepping out of comfort zones, and choosing paths that fulfill her long-term aspirations over immediate satisfaction. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and write Stoic Sigma so I know you've made it this far. Let's get back to the video. A woman pursuing both intellectual and personal growth knows she can't do it alone. Though growth is a personal task, it can't be done in isolation. She surrounds herself with people who challenge, inspire, and encourage her to improve. She isn't hesitant to find mentors, ask questions, and welcome feedback. Being open to learning from others shows strength, not weakness. It signals a relentless commitment to becoming better, an understanding that one can never know it all, and that the insights of others are invaluable. Yet, personal growth isn't about constant self-critique or chasing perfection. It also involves nurturing self-kindness and recognizing that growth is a gradual process. There will be failures, setbacks, and frustrating moments, which should be met with compassion rather than harsh judgment. She understands that growth is about improving day by day, not about achieving perfection. It's about making progress. Ultimately, it's not her accomplishments or recognition that define her, but her steadfast pursuit of growth, a pursuit that embodies the true essence of living a fulfilling life. She doesn't chase growth just for its own sake, but as a means to become more genuinely connected to herself, the world, and the people around her. Through this journey, she becomes a source of inspiration for others, showing them that though the path of growth is tough, it is the most rewarding of all. A genuinely wise and refined woman recognizes how essential it is to stay flexible and adjust in a world that's constantly evolving. Adaptability is her ability to adjust to new conditions, to embrace change without fear, and to thrive under different circumstances. This trait is crucial because life is unpredictable. Plans don't always work out, so being able to shift direction and adjust is key to facing obstacles and making the most of new chances. Adaptability in a sophisticated woman means she's always ready to learn new things. She understands that what worked yesterday might not work today or tomorrow, and she's willing to evolve her strategies and approaches. This could mean changing her mind based on new information, adopting new technologies to enhance her work or personal life, or even shifting her career path when necessary. It's all about being flexible and not being stuck in one way of thinking or doing things. She also embraces cultural sensitivity and global awareness as she navigates through different environments and interacts with people from various backgrounds. She understands that the world is made up of many cultures, beliefs, and viewpoints, and appreciating these differences is essential for clear communication and genuine respect. Her sophistication is shown in her ability to engage with diverse groups, appreciate their unique contributions, and learn from their experiences. Furthermore, a sophisticated woman is also proactive about her health and well-being. She knows that maintaining her physical and mental health is essential not just for her longevity, but also for the quality of her life. This means regular exercise, a balanced diet, adequate rest, and mindfulness practices that help her manage stress and keep her mind clear. She doesn't take her health for granted, but sees it as the foundation of all her endeavors. Additionally, her commitment to ethical living stands out. She strives to make decisions that are not only beneficial to herself, but also ethically sound and good for others. Whether it's choosing sustainable products, engaging in fair business practices, or advocating for justice, she lives by principles that promote fairness, integrity, and responsibility. The depth of a highly intelligent and sophisticated woman's character is seen not just in how much she knows, but in how she applies her knowledge and skills in real-world situations. She's not just reactive, but intentionally acts in ways that align with her values and the needs of the wider world. She is a role model, showing us that true sophistication and intelligence involve a continuous journey of learning, growing, and contributing to the world around us. In summary, an intelligent and sophisticated woman is far more than just a set of characteristics. She embodies depth, complexity, and ongoing self-improvement. She interacts with the world thoughtfully, pushes herself and others, and shows a deep understanding of both her personal identity and the larger world. She is defined not by the shallow, but by the depth of her character, intellect, and presence. And it is this depth that makes her a powerful source of wisdom and influence in the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Click on the videos coming on screen if you want to further explore the world of a Sigma female. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time.